Jalele.
Wena dlala wena.
Ay, ngeke bale dlala kabi.
Angidlali, serious. Serious.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of The Wife Season 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe, let's get into it. Episode 25 picks up at the hospital in the aftermath of Naledi and Gawe's accident. As both families gather in the hospital reception, Gawe is quickly released with minor injuries, while Naledi's life hangs in the balance. Gawe becomes suspicious that the chief might be responsible for the car accident, but Sambulo finds no evidence after investigating Gawe's car, which means the chief and Sillo did very well to cover their tracks, and the chief reminds Sillo that they must continue to do so, not even letting Tidi find out. In the aftermath of her restaurant launch, Somu is given encouragement by her parents before they leave, reminding her she can always come back home. Back at the hospital, Naledi is still in critical condition when Tidi overhears her father confirm what she's always suspected, that Naledi is the chief's favorite daughter, and he wishes that it was Tidi in the hospital bed instead. Tidi, in her heartbreak, would make an attempt on Naledi's life. Naledi would go into a seizure just as Tidi was about to suffocate her to death with a pillow. The episode ends with Tieti doing all he can to revive Naledi. Episode 26 picked up at the hospital, and Tieti was not only successful in reviving Naledi, but she soon regained consciousness for the first time since the accident. Naledi wakes up to her concerned father, Tidi and Tieti, but to their disappointment, Naledi immediately asks to see Gawe. Back in Rustenburg, Tidi is remorseful and confides in Sillo after almost killing her own sister. Sillo reassures her that the chieftaincy will be there soon enough. Meanwhile, back at the Zulu home, it would seem that the honeymoon is over for Sambulo and Xoli. First, Xoli is offended that Sambulo is too preoccupied with taxi business to have sex with her. Then Xoli finds a female's number in Sambulo's laundry, so she burns his clothes in outrage. Sambulo seems to be confused with the cheating allegations, but this little bit of drama does lead to some make-up sex, which ends in Sambulo giving her the pin to his phone. I guess it was a trust-building exercise for Xoli. Like I said, she is an addict, that one. Back at the hospital, Naledi comes clean to her father about the new home she shares with Gawe. The chief and Gawe would later clash in Naledi's hospital room over who will care for her, with Tieti demanding that the two excuse themselves and allow Naledi to rest. The episode ends at Somu's restaurant, where Detective Baloyi arrives, but claims he is simply there as a customer. It would seem that Detective Baloyi has switched up his strategy as he aggressively flirts with Somu, a married woman. Somu in return appears to be flattered by the smooth-talking detective. Episode 27 picks up at Naledi and Gawe's home. Naledi has been discharged from the hospital and the couple arrive for some rest and restoration. Just as the two lovebirds are getting comfortable, the chief arrives with a team of 4 nurses and a chef, reaffirming his intent to stick around while Naledi is nursed back to health. I have to say I love the chief's performance in this scene, in this episode really. He delivered a real Tswana elder. The chief begins to soften his approach to Gawe when he overhears the couple starting to speculate over what could have caused their accident. Just as it would seem the chief and Gawe are reaching a common ground, he makes a big discovery when he finds some diamonds Gawe had stashed in the fish tank. He abruptly returns to Rustenburg, where they come to the conclusion that Gawe is actually using Naledi to gain access to their diamonds. After further interrogation of the miners who were robbed by the Zulu brothers, Mulifi gets confirmation that indeed Gawe and his brothers were involved. Meanwhile, Somu has been managing things at her restaurant and at the taxi rank. But she continues to entertain Detective Baloyi and his flirting ways at the restaurant, and this may lead to deadly repercussions because the episode ends when mqhele pays a surprise visit to Mahlomu at the restaurant. But to his surprise, Mahlomu and Detective Baloyi are enjoying each other's company to the extent that Mahlomu ignores mqhele's call as he looked on in disbelief. Mqhele left without making a scene, but we know just how calculated he can be. Detective Baloyi is playing with fire now. Strong episodes this week, but I'm curious if last week was the last we've seen of mqhele's baby mama, cause it looks like the story is moving along. Again, I love the connection with the Diamonds and Naledi's family. That was very well done. Let me remind you that we have about 4 weeks of The Wife left. We're on the final stretch, so it's now or never for the show to tie up loose ends and deliver a memorable finale. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR, for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.